Okay, I'm doing something a little bit crazy just for fun. Hi, it's Kendra back again with another Packing Light video, and today I'm going to be showing you how I packed in this purse for a 2-day trip for Thanksgiving. I'm gonna guess that this purse is like 2.5 liters because it definitely feels like it fits less than my 3-liter Uniqlo bag did, but it looks like a similar size. I don't think it's down to 2 liters. I bought this at Goodwill actually for about $7, and it's made of leather. It's from the brand Charter Club, and I just love that it's a fun red pop of color. I'll have to show you later what I'm going to wear because a lot of the stuff I'm bringing will be worn, but let me show you what's in the bag. First off, I have a tote bag. So I'm sure I'll be getting some leftovers when I leave Thanksgiving, so I wanted to have something ready to take those back. Next, I have a mask. I'm going to take the train home, so I wanted to have a mask in case there's any stinky smells on the train, which occasionally happens. Sunglass toppers for my glasses. I'll be wearing the glasses, and then these will just be with me in case I need sunglasses. Next, I have my phone charger. Definitely going to need that at some point. 2-day trip, unfortunately, can't go without a phone charger. My keys so I can get back into my apartment when I get home. Dairy pills, because unfortunately I am lactose intolerant and I do want to be able to eat some cheese and dairy at the Thanksgiving table. My tiny deodorant, a little t-shirt from Uniqlo. This is their little mini tee, and I'll be wearing that under a sweater the second day. Some socks, 2 pairs of underwear, and then I have these 2 little pouches. And in this zip pocket here, I'm also gonna have my wallet, a USB-C cord, plug-in headphone. In this little bag is some toiletries. I'm gonna have a travel toothbrush, a travel toothpaste container. It only has a little bit left because I used it for a different trip. A few hair ties, oops, and a little spoolie brush. A tiny, tiny sample perfume, and my little lash curler. And then if you watched my channel before, you're probably really familiar with what's inside this bag, but I'll just go over it again in case anyone is new. This is a bag that I just keep in my purse with me at all times, so it's just my essentials. Some Vaseline in here, and this is actually still left over from my 3-liter bag trip in the summer. Crazy. And a tiny bit of soap in here. Hand sanitizer, another hair tie, some Tylenol, some Advil, a lot of Band-Aids. I think these are from my Mexico trip. Tess, you can't have those. There you go. Okay, had to pause to put the hair ties away so Tess doesn't try to eat them. This little spork, which is really handy when you're getting food out, and a nail file. And then I also wanted to bring this magnetic charger. I actually thought it was already in this bag, so I'm gonna have to see if I can fit it in, and if not, it'll have to go in my pocket. And I was debating bringing my Kindle, which I could also probably fit in my pocket. So I might bring it still. It definitely won't fit in my bag. And then I'm gonna carry a water bottle. So that is it. Let's see if I can get everything back in the bag. I usually also have these alcohol wipes in here. I actually realized that I must have ran out when I was unpacking it, so just gonna slide them in as well. And I typically keep some dairy pills here too. Maybe I'll add 2 more. I usually have 2 in here. Actually, I actually think I'm gonna not use this little pouch. I think things are gonna fit better if I don't use that. So in the tiny pocket, I'm gonna put my cords, my wallet, my spoolie brush, this will stay out. And then in the bottom, I'm gonna put my tiny perfume, my lash curler, my deodorant, and toothbrush and toothpaste. Then, big things, LOL, big. This t-shirt's probably the biggest thing I have. And mask. These need to go in the side here. Pouch. Battery pack. Keys. Wall plug. Charger. Okay, let's see if it closes. Oh gosh. I'm gonna try to stuff this in the front. Feels like there's extra room there. All right, click. There we go, packed. So Kindle, I think, will go in my pocket, and then let's look at what I'm gonna wear. So I wore a pair of sweatpants. These are from Uniqlo. They're wide-legged sweatpants, and I wore these both days. For tops, I had a little white t-shirt, and I had one of these packed in my bag, so I wore one on Thanksgiving Day, and then I slept in it, and then I had a new one to wear the second day. I have a wool sweater that I thrifted a while ago, so wool doesn't really have to be washed every time you wear it, especially sweaters where you wear like a shirt underneath. So I just wore it, and then I let it air out overnight, and then I wore it again the second day. I also wore some merino wool socks, and I let those air out overnight. I wore a pair of boots both days, and then I had a wool coat. I also have a cashmere scarf that adds a nice little pop of color and goes with a purse. I had some gloves, and then I also had forgotten to put this sleep mask and my floss into my purse, so I put those in the purse, and then I just tucked my tote bag into my pocket instead of carrying it in my purse, and that way I was able to hold everything. And then this is the look with the purse. So I felt very stylish and comfortable for Thanksgiving. I didn't feel like I was missing anything. Honestly, I really loved this pack. I did this for Thanksgiving, like I said, so I've obviously taken the trip already. I used almost everything in my bag. I didn't use my lash curler and my spoolie brush in the end of the day, and everything else I used. I didn't feel like I had too little of anything. I didn't feel like I was carrying too much, so I feel like it's one of my more perfect packs that I've done on this channel. Hope you enjoyed.